My name is Elisa Giaccardi. I am Chair of Interactive Media Design at Delft University of Technology and also Guest Professor of Post-Industrial Design at Umeå Institute of Design in Sweden. Today the main message of my talk was about the fact, the belief I have that technology won't change the world. What will change the world are the kind of questions, the types of questions that we will be asking through it. I'm fascinated by technology, but I also think that today we often witness a very strong technology push. And of course it's important to engage with technologies to understand what they can do, what we can do with them. But I believe it's equally important to develop methodologies and processes to design these technologies, to make them fit, not just in our life, make them fit in the way in which we actually live, and the way in which we work, or the way in which we have fun, but more importantly, to help us understand what is it that we desire and how can we achieve what we desire, what we think is desirable as a society with these technologies. And of course, we might have very different opinions of what that is, which is why we need to keep the conversation open. So I don't have an answer, I have an hypothesis that stems from the way in which we find productive, the way in which we work together. And the way we did work together was ultimately a solution to a problem. As I said in the presentation, when you have different disciplines, particularly when you have, for example, designers together with computer scientists working on machine learning algorithms or AI systems, and then you also want to have the expertise of social scientists to understand the human side. The way in which these disciplines work is very different, and it's not just a matter of different vocabularies and different value systems. We know that by now. It's just that I say the speed of disciplinary work is very different. The moments of acceleration happen at different points in time with respect to each other. So, for example, for the machine learning expert, it was really slow at the beginning because she needed to have the data before being able to do anything. And designers could start much earlier. And the social scientist had lots of data at first. So, I think that my hypothesis is that you need to pick an entry point. One of the disciplines needs somehow to lead. And of course, I'm very biased, and I'm going to say design should take the lead, because it's of all the disciplines, is the most flexible. It's the one that can contract or expand and accommodate those different speeds if you structure it in the right way. And that's why we worked, and I think we did succeed to an extent, but then we also had to stop because the project was over. It was a very short project. It was only less than a 2-year project. I'd like to take that as an hypothesis, and I'd like to evoke, to really reflect and experiment with what does it mean to have a design-led project when it comes to the development of IoT systems, machine learning, algorithms that have to feed into a design process for the development of the technology, or more specifically product or service. And what does that mean to have design in the lead? I think that in that way, which is the way we did it, you have this iteration kind of skewed, but they're still iterations. and you do actually accelerate. But you have to bring people on board and accept the fact that for not everything that you do there is evidence. And so the process becomes a bit more osmotic. There are moments in which you can really plug in data, and there are moments where it's just a very osmotic exchange of knowledge and insights between disciplines, between experts, that happen in discussing and talking and working together towards that plug-in, towards that acceleration in one discipline or another discipline. And then you loop it back together. I'm not sure, I haven't worked myself a lot with online collaborative environments in the context of a design process. I tried in the past. I always find it overly structured in terms of what the platform was forcing me to organize my process. So it's challenging, I think. Perhaps I would adopt a similar strategy and destructure. So rather than using a central platform, use a variety of channels. That will have a lot of dispersion in terms of how you can document the process, but it could be interesting to experiment with.